What's up?
Congratulations, Kody.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel great.
How's the body feeling?
It feels good. A little banged up. Leading up to here, I was like, pretty tired already, but took a couple leg shots, and but yeah, ain't no thing.
Before we even get to tonight, how does it feel to be the first fighter to make somebody quit a fight before the fight
Yeah,
in
actually,
this show's history?
yeah. It's a crazy game, and I think that it just like shows that this is the fight game. But I'm glad that something like that happened, and it showed like my mental toughness and shows that I'm ready for anything.
Obviously, you had a lot of hype. I mean, do you think that got into his head? Like he knew he was going against this guy who had massive hype?
Yeah, maybe I remember, seeing him and I was like, this guy, I don't think this guy's about it. And then, going out, walking out to the cage, I saw that it was like, a lot of lights, a lot of pressure, and I was like, this boy is gonna freeze. So.
What was the game plan for tonight? Because I mean, just swinging and banging, chasing, brought it. I think everyone. I think this was a more dangerous fight than your first fight, right? So, what was the game plan coming in?
Yeah, for sure. This fight was a lot more dangerous than my last fight. Like this guy, he came in with nothing to lose mentality, and my game plan doesn't change too much. I just kind of tweak it. I'm always going to bring pressure and come forward, and if we get it to the ground, then that's what we're going to do. But I just from watching his fights, I knew he wanted to try to knock me out and like do that. So I was like, all right, let's go. So I put the chin down and threw the hands.
Obviously, man, you have a lot of hype behind you because of your jiu-jitsu, but you haven't really even shown that in your fights yet, and you've just been knocking people out. So I mean, like, should fighters be fucking scared of you?
Yeah. I mean, whoever wants to try to take me down and play that game with me, I'll show them what's up. I got a big arsenal, off my back, and then when I'm on top of somebody, it's like it could be a wrap. So I have that in my back pocket. I think now that I'm here on the big stage doing this and fighting the best guys in the world, that's something that I'm going to be going to now, and showing. But I'm here. I'm ready. Like I'm ready to put on performances, and I want to get bonuses, and I want to be active, and I want to finish these guys.
When would you like to return? Obviously, 2 weight cuts within a few weeks. Is it hard on the body? When's a perfect return for you?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk with my team, my manager and stuff. I mean, my leg's a little banged up, but it's nothing. It's just I got kicked in the leg. But once I'm ready to go, like I want to be active and stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk with the team and the manager, see what kind of lines up on the table. But I know I would like to maybe get in some fights this year, and then if not, like next year, I wanna be active. I want to get after it.
I do want to ask, you living in Vegas now, how much has that, and being with Syndicate, how much has that really evolved you and really helped you out?
Oh man, it was a game changer. Living back home in Austin was great. Like it built me and it made me. But I was just doing jiu-jitsu and just doing like Muay Thai. So I wasn't mixing it, and like I was training with a lot of good people, but not MMA fighters. So like now being at Syndicate, I have a good MMA coach, John Wood, and like we have like Merab, he just won the title, and like Khalil just had like a banger of a fight this last weekend, and just like seeing those guys in the room all the time, just seeing their work ethic and like watching them like go through their game plans and then them going out there and doing them and displaying them, and like it just gives me a lot of confidence. And like I said, just training, I have a lot of good training partners and a lot of people who believe in me.
And then finally, for me, we've seen a lot of kickboxers coming over to MMA, seeing D1 wrestlers coming over here. Not a lot of high-level jiu-jitsu guys coming over nowadays. Do you think that's going to change, or do you think like it just depends?
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I think there's some guys out there for sure in the jiu-jitsu world who will make that switch. and come over. I definitely believe that. You know, I got my boy Jackson Glass. He's a little savage. You know, Damian Anderson. He's fighting soon, and he's a jiu-jitsu guy. So those guys, you know, they're on the come up. And but yeah, you know, I'm also just like a different breed of jiu-jitsu guy. You know, I got that wrestle jitsu, but I got some bombs too.
Awesome. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
I've just got one. I was curious about this when you first appeared. Was there any hope that you would just get a contract? Because, I mean, you essentially won the fight because he couldn't come out. So it felt weird and almost unfair that you had to go through it all again when it wasn't your fault.
You know, like I definitely, honestly, I'm glad I didn't get the contract because that just probably would have raised some hell. You know, people would have been like, "This guy didn't even fight," and blah blah blah. But you know, like, but once I was here, I was like, man, like this sucks. Like I wanted to fight on this show. Like I didn't really want to just go into the UFC and then be a part of it and then just start fighting guys. Like if that's what would have happened, then I would have done it and I would have proven myself. But I'm glad I got to be on this stage and be on this platform and like, you know, and also, you know, the fight didn't go like I didn't get to fight last time, but I had to do a quick turnaround. And like for me, you know, it was good for me mentally that I knew that I could do something like that.
True.
You know.
Thank you.
Just one follow-up, touching on what you said about Khalil. I think you guys understood his heart and his effort. I think a lot of people look at Khalil differently after this fight. I think he really showed people what he's made of, that you had people talking about him. So I guess, like you said, you know, you'd seen him in camp, but were you able to take some motivation from what he did this Saturday? And can you tell people that maybe don't know about Khalil, that's something that you guys see in the gym all the time?
Yeah, man, that guy's an animal, you know. And I was like texting my coaches after. I was like, man, I'm glad I watched that fight because that dude, and like he motivated me so much. Like I was ready to come into this fight, whatever happened, and I was ready to go guns blazing and put the chin down and just throw if I needed to, you know. Just watching him fight this last week, and I was like, all right, here we go. This is what it's about right here.
Kody, quick sum over here. Obviously, you showed that you're ready today, but how are these past couple of weeks, not just physically, but mentally, just given that famous switch-up of fights that night and now another short notice fight?
Yeah, it was mentally a little exhausting, I guess, you know, like the whole process of being in the back of the room, and then they're like, all right, you're up, and I was like, all right, sweet, I'm about to do this thing, and then they were like, all right, fight's off. I was like, damn, okay, this sucked, and then they're like, oh no, fight's back on, and I was like, oh shit. So then like I was like on this little roller coaster that sucked, and then, but it was like whatever. It was just the process of like, you know, going like the next day I took like a couple days off, like 2 days off, just to like let my body heal from the weight cut, and then got right back in the gym and back in the grind and back in the classes and drilling and back on the diet. And so like that was the part that was like bleh. But you know, besides that, like I said, like I just looked at it as it was just a test for me, and like, you know, now that I did that, I feel good mentally.
Sure. And how do you envision your UFC career? Do you have like a timeline of where you would like to be one day in a certain position in the rankings or something, or are you just taking it like one fight at a time?
I would like to take it, you know, one fight at a time, you know, like I do see myself in like 2 years really like, you know, fighting like the best guys in the world. And, you know, for me, when I fight to perform, you know, like I'm 7-0 now, but I don't care for the record. Like I just want to go out there and put on sick performances and, you know, cash in some bonuses and be someone who people want to watch fight. You know, I'm there to win my fights, but I'm there to finish fights, and, you know, I'll go guns blazing if I have to, you know.
For sure. And this Thursday, another Fight Pass Invitational. I know you had a fun match there earlier this year. What are your thoughts on this upcoming Invitational?
I think it's sick, you know. I think that the Nicky Rod and Pixley match is going to be really cool. Renato Canuto, he's fighting on there against PJ Barch. Both those guys are like two of my favorite guys to watch. And then also Andy Varela and Dante Leon, like that's also going to be like a little banger of a match. So hopefully I'm gonna be there watching all those matches go down. But I don't know, honestly, I would like to get on those jiu-jitsu matches too. I want to fight some of these jiu-jitsu boys, and like then I can show my jiu-jitsu and like show the levels, you know, like. I can sub all these guys. Give me Charles Oliveira or something. I don't know.
For sure. I mean, I think that'd be very fun. And obviously, that sport is growing exponentially this past year, especially with things such as like CJI this summer and all that. Do you think Fight Pass Invitational should implement like a pit-style matches for these upcoming invitationals?
I think it would be cool. I'm a fan of the pit, you know. I'm not, like the stage is cool, but like every time I compete on the stage, I end up just like flying off of it. So like I feel like I need a pit myself, you know. So I mean, I'd be open to it if they wanted to change those to the pit. That'd be more dope.
No, and what can we expect? Lastly, from me, what can we expect from Syndicate MMA this coming year?
It's gonna be good. We got a lot of heavy hitters coming up. Got guys getting ready to got some fights coming, and you know, Merab's gonna be defending his belt. I don't know when it is, but you know, I feel like he's gonna hold that belt for a while. So like, there's a lot of good things coming out of Syndicate. A lot of killers.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cody, congrats on the win. Just to circle back on something you mentioned with Alex, that pressure. And this dude was giving you all kinds of angles, switching from southpaw conventional and back, trying to really confuse you. What was the talk like in between rounds to say, like, okay, he can do all that, but it takes a lot of energy, so I'm going to go ahead and just drown him in this second and third round?
Yeah. I mean, southpaw, I used to like just not like dealing with southpaws. I was like, this sucks, you know. But I've like the last couple of my fights, I've been fighting southpaw. So now like I knew he was gonna switch on me and do a couple things like that, but I wasn't phased. I don't try not to look at it as like I'm fighting a southpaw and like an orthodox guy. Like I know I gotta play outside foot and do all that, but like when I think about it too much, it like ends up just like screwing me up. So I was just thinking pressure, keep the pressure, and like, you know, if he wants to shoot, and then we can grapple. But if not, I'm just gonna keep pressuring him.
Were you surprised that he didn't shoot as much? And in that round two, he was very more stationary, almost squared up with you too.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I felt like he thought I was gonna shoot on him or something like that. Like he was like throwing knees up, and I was like, all right. And yeah, like I don't know. Like I thought to that point where I felt like he was like starting to fade, I was like, okay, this is like when he's gonna shoot on me. But then once I was in the cage, I was like, I didn't sense any of like him wanting to shoot on me. I felt like he just wanted to like throw hands and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool, this is better for me anyways.
That's awesome, man. And I'm glad he did, because that gave us that highlight reel. You can't spell Cody without KO.
That's what I'm saying.
Solar plexus, man. How did you see that? And that was just a thing of beauty, by the way. People want that head kick knockout and that big Sean O'Malley, but to the body's not used enough, and you made it like you stamped your contract right there.
Yeah. I was wondering when I was gonna crack somebody with one of those. Like when I train a lot, I drop a lot of people with body shots. I was thinking in that moment though, I was like, all right, I'm gonna come in with this like sick elbow and then do this and that, and it just like the elbow kind of got wonky because we like kept crashing into each other, and then but sometimes I'll throw like an elbow and then I'll just rip a body shot, just like neck. Instinctually, you know. So I'm glad it landed though.
Amazing stuff. Congrats on the win, sir.
All right, thank you. Good. All right, thanks guys.